The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to the August 26th, the fantastic Friday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. Hey, let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. And the easiest way to do that, well, it's to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, well, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I are going to go check on the circumstance of these markets. We'll go figure out what those bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I at just past 11 o'clock in the morning. I do want you to know I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here. But more important than that, that's this. During this next 53 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to pick up that phone. You can dial on in at 877-927-6648. Would love to hear from you. But if you can't call in and you have a question that you'd like answered, then go ahead and send me an email. Now send that to steve@tfnn.com and make it easier for me by putting radio show question in that subject line. Of course, inside our Tiger's Den, well, any and every ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on Fantastic Friday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. We've got a sea of red out there. You get the Dow down 540 points, 1 0.6%, 2% for the S&P, or 82 points, 2.5% for the Nasdaq 100, 333 points, 2.25% for the Russell, 43 points. Semis off 3.5%, 102 out there. Gold is off $20. That's off a little over 1%, trade at 17.52. Silver's down 20 cents. That's 1%, trade out at 18.96. Light sweet crude up 0.5%, 50 cents. Natural gas is up 10 pennies. She's trading out at 9.44, and the 30-year Treasury is flat at 137.24. Lead the charge dollar-wise to the upside. Well, that must be an IPO. Let's go with Molina Healthcare up $16 or 5%. Electronic Arts up $7, 6%. Deco New Energy Corp up $6, 8%. Workday up $5 or about 3%. To the downside, CGen up $13. Well, actually, Restoration Hardware's off $20 or 7%. You've got Domo Arigato is off $8 or 30%. Centene Corp down 5%, a little just below $5, and the firm holdings off $6 and change. That's 20% to the downside. So let's begin with the charts that we want to pay attention to. Very much like yesterday, what charts are controlling the market movement out there? Well, it's really the 4 and 5 hour time frame charts that did go to form those. I think we talked about that yesterday. They did end up forming those TD9 count tops. We'll begin with the 5 hour time frame chart for the ES Mini. Forms a TD9 count pattern last night at 5 p.m., 1700 hours at 5 p.m. Bar number 8 completes. Bar number 9 completes as the market opens at 11 o'clock. That set up the TD9 count top. And now what price is doing is testing breakout support. And breakout support for the ES Mini is 4117.75. We're at 4117.75. You got to love that. So right now you got the ES Mini testing support. The NQ is trading just below support. The NQs also formed, so each of these form TD9 counts. That's why I say it is the 4 and 5 hour chart. You'll see we'll switch back and forth that are really controlling the message of the markets for you and I to be able to interpret what is the market communicating to us. Now, 12, 850, 150. Now this bar, by the way, it's a 5 hour time frame out here, so it's not till 2 p.m. that this bar will close. But you do want to understand where the support levels are. So 12, 850, 150 inside of the NQ. Still has Rhodes Momentum Indicator signal has been triggered as price moved a little bit lower below that 12, 851 level. If you take a look at the Dow, it's 32, 818. that is the support area, and inside the Russell 2000 is 1912.50. Of course, your question would be and should be, if those lows get taken out, where is price headed to? Excellent question. It would typically be the next level. The next level for the ES Mini, 40.84.50. The next level for the NQ, I don't have one. So the next level for the Dow would be 31.771, and the next level for the Russell 2000 to the downside, support levels that I'm providing to you, is 1884.70. Now, it's coming off of the 5-hour time frame charts for the equity future contracts. Here are the 4-hour time frame charts. You will also see price back either at, near, or below the support levels, 41.21 for the 240-minute ES Mini. It's 12.851.50 for the 4-hour NQ, 32.836 for the YM for the Dow Equity Future Contract, 1912.50. Now, these bars here are going to close at, I believe it's also at 2, but let me just make sure. Yeah, 2 o'clock. So we got 2 o'clock as the close for the, how can that be? 2 o'clock for the 4-hour, definitely. Let me go back. I just want to see what the closing time is on the 5-hour charts out here. It could be 2. And, yeah, it is 2 o'clock. So both of these are going to be closing at 2 p.m. So have those numbers jotted on a pad of paper. Now, what we're looking at here, 4 and 5-hour charts. I'm not saying that the bottom is formed, but price is back at support. What do we do when price is back at support for a certain time level? Well, I tell you what we do. We go down to these shorter-term time frames looking for any kind of bottom signals. Now, this can be a bottom, by the way. Coming back to support, holding support can absolutely be a bottom out there. Now let's go take a look at multi-time frame charts. Let's start, I believe it's the ES Mini that will pop up on our screen first here. And I have a number of tools that are open right now, so it's going to take a little bit longer when we change symbols here as we take a look at request to populate some of these charts. So we're looking at the intraday charts here. On a 10-minute time frame, no bottoming signal. The 15-minute, no bottoming signal. The soonest that a bottoming signal could take place on a 10-minute chart, 7, 8, 9, 10, 4, would be within the next 30 to 40 minutes out here. So by the time the show ends at 12 p.m., you could get a TD9 count bottom out there. No bottom pattern on the 30-minute time frame. No bottom pattern on the 60-minute time frame out there. So the signals at this stage of the game, if this area of support is going to hold, is going to be coming from that 5-hour and 4-hour time frame. So watch the 41.17.75, 41.21.25 level. So all price is done is pulled back to that area of support. Let's go take a look at the NQ, see what its charts. Again, this is going to take just a few more moments than normal, I believe, because of the number of tools that I've got open out here. And so let's get the NQ's chart here to populate. While that's going on, I've got some housekeeping. This is ELO, Electric Light Orchestra, wants to take a look at Lights Recruit, so we're going to do that here in a bit. And Alton wants to take a look at DraftKings out there. So we only have 2 requests that are in, and I would love to hear from you folks as well. So now as we take a look at the NQ charts, 10-minute, 15-minute should completely populate here momentarily. It looks like the same set of patterns, quite frankly, that we looked at on the ES, and it is, bar number 7 on that 10-minute. So if that's going to give us a bottom signal, it would do that by about 12 noon out there. No bottom signals on the 15, the 30, the 60. So all being controlled really by that 4 and 5-hour time frame set of charts out there. So you watch those support levels. Both of those on the NQ are 12, 8, 51, 50. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We come back to this break. We're going to look at DraftKings for Alton. And for ELO, we're going to take a look at Light Sweet Fruit. We'll be right back.
Of booming inflation, where your purchasing power is eroded, there's no better place to protect your hard-earned money than in gold. Vista Gold's flagship asset is the Mount Todd Gold Project in the Northern Territory of Australia. This is Australia's largest undeveloped gold project. We are talking a world-class gold project in a Tier 1 mining district. This is a large-scale, low-cost project with significant existing infrastructure in a politically safe and friendly mining jurisdiction. Vista Gold just completed the Mount Todd feasibility study, which resulted in a 7 million ounce gold reserve and a 16-year mine life. All of this combined with the approvals of all major operational as well as environmental permits. This distinguishes Mount Todd as an attractive, de-risk partner, ready development stage gold project. Vista Gold trades on the New York Stock Exchange under the symbol VGZ.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Welcome back, folks. We got the Dow off 544, S&P's down 83. Let's get to our questions out here. We actually have 2 that have come in on DraftKings. The first one coming in from Alton. Alton says, I hope you have a fabulous Friday. I will. I got to head over to Naples here in about as soon as we're off the air. That's always in any event. Can you please look at DraftKings for support and resistance? So we're going to do that for Alton. And then the next question is coming in from Tom, and he wants, do you think today is a good entry point for DraftKings? Perfect. So, Tom, I'm going to answer your question. The answer there is no. Now, let's go take a look at the DraftKings charts. We've got our multi-time frame chart. Now, why would Stevie have said no? Today's not a good day to enter DraftKings out there. And if you look at the daily time frame chart, Tom and Alton, the reason is because, well, one, we're below yesterday's low. We're below all the lows out there. And today is going to become bar number 7 out here. So we're below the bottom of the profile. We're taking out some prior lows out here. Odds favor that what DraftKings will do is go on and confirm or complete a TD9 count bottom. Now, the earliest that can take place is Monday with bar number 8. But Tuesday, bar number 9 still has to complete. So the earliest time frame that you could potentially get that signal, and it has to meet the parameters of the pattern out there, and I don't know whether it will do that or not, would be Tuesday. So the pattern, if it does confirm, it would confirm on Tuesday. It would complete on Wednesday. So it might be Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday that we take a look at that. When I say take a look at that for an entry point. But now is not the time based upon the daily patterns. Now, there's not enough of a retracement here from the low of bar number 5. That was on August 24th to the high of yesterday. To really give it an A to B equals CD pattern out there, you've got to, look, you don't have to. I'm just suggesting that it works better if you have a close to a 0.382 retracement on that B to C leg out there. But we don't need to worry about that. Now, where is price targeting here? Price is going to go target the 13.15 level. It may not get all the way down there while it works on that TD9 count pattern, but that is the breakout area for DraftKings. And since price is below the bottom of its profile, which is resistance, so Alt was asking for resistance. Resistance is old support. And in fact, DraftKings has proven that level to be resistance. That is at 17.91. Support, we gave that to you on the daily time frame, 13.15. The weekly basis out here, what do we have for DraftKings? We have a nice Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom, price above the top of its profile. The top of its profile is at 15.52. That would be another level of potential support. Alton out there. If we look at the monthly time frame, you've got a nice TD9 count bottom at breakout support at $9.85. This says that over time, DraftKings should go target the 27.54 level out there. So, and when we look at the intraday charts, another reason to say no, that today is not the time for a long entry position is because price is taking out the 195-minute TD9 count bottom. And that suggests that price wants to go target that 13.21 area, and that is its breakout support. So we got 13.15 to 13.21. Of course, we want to watch for that daily pattern out there. The 130-minute chart is suggesting that price should pull back to 13.28. I don't have anything for us on a 65 or 30-minute other than to share with you there are no bottom signals there. So to summarize, DraftKings out here may get a TD9 count bottom that confirms on Tuesday, completes on Wednesday. So let's certainly look at it then. But today is not the day to enter a long position inside of DraftKings, at least not as of 11:22, based upon the signals that we've looked at. So Alton and Tom, thanks so much for the request out there. And the request line is that request email line is totally open. The request line is also open out there. I only have one more request, and that is from Electric Light Orchestra inside of the Tiger's Den, who wants to take a look at light sweet crude. So as we take a look at light sweet crude, I don't recall, it was just Steve-O light sweet crude. So I don't know what you're looking for, so I'll just give you the overview out here. Here's the overview. Let's take a look at the daily time frame chart. The daily time frame chart shows that price right now is trading just below the top of its profile. The top of its profile is 92.41. If price closes below 92.41, price should run to 90.03. If price were to close below 90.03, then it heads back to the support level of its bullish structured profile between 86.25 and 88.01. So you'll need to see what the day's end close is. If it closes back above that profile, the top of its profile, again, that was at 92.41, that's going to actually suggest we might see an A to B equals CD to the upside. As we look at the 5-hour time frame chart, Rhodes Momentum Indicator top, this would suggest that over time, price might want to pull back to test its breakout level of support, and that could be at the 85.48 level. Today. This bar, which completes at 2 p.m., is bar number 6. So no TD9 count bottom on the 5-hour time frame chart today. We have wave number 7. That's letter G, just a very small part of the Chapman wave. For the 4-hour time frame, price is below the bottom of its profile. It is also suggesting lower price, 86.28, being its price target. The 120-minute time frame chart has an A to B equals CD to the downside. Let's just draw in that A to B level. We'll carry that over to the C point out here. This is just an approximate. So there's your A to B. Let's move that over to, let's move that over to the C to D area. See where that brings us to. Come on, Stevie. You're acting like a drunk out there. Oh, my God. All right, maybe it's easier if I expand out the chart here and move this over. So maybe it's not me. Maybe, oh, you know what it is? I have so many things running right now in the background. Sorry. It's just managing my positions. So as we take a look at the A to B equals C, we're pretty close to getting to the 1-to-1 level, around 90-60. But this could do more than a 1-to-1 A to B equals CD. So 90-60 to 89-49. What I'd be watching on the 2-hour time frame chart out there is for some type of bullish reversal candle. If we get that, then on that time frame, you would have a buy the D point. Now, 60-minute time frame, no bottom signal out there. 30-minute, you have a confirmed Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom. In order for this to get traction, though, traction says price would need to close above 92.43. It's red oscillator and change line. If it does that, then you should see price run up to 93.27, the top of the current profile. If price can close above 93.27, then you're on your way back to the TD9 count breakdown area, and that would be at the 95.78-ish range out there. You've also got a Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom for the 15 and the 10-minute chart. So the level to be watching here is really going to be that 30-minute level, which light sweet crude had just bounced up to that area. That's the oscillator and change line. If this is more than just a little bit of a counter trend move on the 30-minute basis, price will close above the oscillator and change line. Again, that's at 92.46. We're trading at 92.44 as we speak right now. So close above that, look for 93.27. So how do we summarize this. You got to watch the top of that daily profile. If price closes above that, price should continue higher, could turn into a TD9 count top eventually. That eventually would not be until mid of Wednesday, Thursday of next week out there. Could also turn into an A to B equals C to the upside. So I hope that helps you out. That was for ELO inside our Tiger's Den. Real quick check of the emails out here. Yep, David H. from Tomball, Texas wants to take a look at Canopy Growth. So we will get that chart fired up on our screen out here. We're going to go to a break here momentarily. CGC, I'm just going to fire that up on my black background chart because the white background chart is going to take just a little bit of time. Canopy Growth right now is trading out at 389, and that is CGC, and that is back inside the top of its daily profile out there, David, which is 401. It's below the bottom of its weekly profile. It's below the bottom of its monthly profile out there. And I see an A to B equals CD pattern. And today could be generating a sell the D point pattern. So we'll further look at Canopy Growth. I know you don't see, now you see that chart on my screen out there, and you can see today's bear sash candle out there, which would suggest really price going back to at least 360. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my Gold Report. The Gold Report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the Gold Report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the Gold Report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. So we're taking a look at Canopy Growth. The ticker symbol there is CGC. This is for David H. in Tomball, Texas. His question is, please give me a buy point, trading ranges, and the oscillator and change line for Canopy Growth. If you have time, please take a look at Sandridge Energy and the natural gas contract out there. So we'll do both of those things for you. So we take a look at CGC, Canopy Growth. we can see that this formed a nice TD9 count bottom. It does that bottom pattern on the day of July the 13th out there. Now we've got an A to B equals CD to the upside pattern out here. You might get a bear sash candle. If you do, then what that's going to suggest that price should go make a run for its oscillator and change line. So your first potential buy point out here would be at about $3.61. Now that may change by a few pennies or what have you, but that would be the area. Now if price spikes that, closes below that, support is $3.42. That is the bottom of its current profile. So your buy points out here are between 342, 361, 372. Those would be the areas. As we look to the weekly time frame, you've got, so yeah, the daily's got a TD9 count bottom. The weekly has a Rhodes momentum indicator bottom pattern and a wave number 7. So the weekly is suggesting that price eventually wants to get up to that 522 level. The monthly time frame, however, says, yeah, I don't know if I'm ready to do anything just yet. Is there any kind of bottom that we can find for the monthly? And the answer is no, not really. So it's really going to be controlled by the daily and the weekly out here, David. So right now you got that 361, 372 level. Now what happens if price closes above the top of the profile, which is 401? Well, then I'd have to say, well, what's the 30-minute chart show us? Good question. Let's go take a look at it. 30-minute time frame chart shows a Rhodes momentum indicator top, wave number 7 top out there, and price below the bottom of that profile. As long as price remains below 397, it suggests lower price could even get down to 336 out there. So that's what's going from the 30-minute chart. So, yeah, it does say be patient and wait. But those are your buy areas, David, with regard to Canopy Growth. Let's go take a look at Sand Ridge Energy. Ticker symbol there is SD. We'll switch over to our other multi-time frame set of charts out there. And in the upper left here for Sand Ridge Energy, we can see what? We can see that price is pulled back, tested, rejected. It's oscillator and change line, trading above the top of its profile. Simply, it's either bullish to neutral. It does have a bearish shooting star, so it does look like there could be a sell the D point pattern. But it's not bearish. It's more of a neutral signal that we have for the monthly time frame. The weekly time frame is bullish. Price is traded above its green oscillator and change line, says we have a rising price oscillator above 0. It's also traded above the top of its profile. As we take a look at the daily time frame chart, the daily time frame chart 2 days ago negated a TD9 count top. That says that price wants to move higher. The price target will become its TD9 count breakdown area, and that's at 2752 out there. Now, I can see an A to B equals CD pattern. And so if there were to be another bearish reversal candle that formed, then that would tell you you've got at least a short-term top, and then price would likely pull back and test its oscillator and change line at about the 2076 level. But right now, you're neutral to bullish on the monthly, you're bullish on the weekly, you're bullish on the daily time frame. And so I don't know if you're in this, if you're looking for an entry point. Boy, I don't have that. It would be on some type of a pullback out there, and hopefully some type of bottom signal from, let's say, a 30-minute chart, or just pulling back like it did yesterday. It pulled back after a TD9 count top. It did that at 10 o'clock in the morning, and it pulls back during that next 30-minute session and does what? It tests and rejects its breakout level of 2141 out there. That's why, that, as I said, those breakout levels can be bottoming signals. Unfortunately, it's the 2 and 4 hour time frame charts that we really started with regard to providing us with the best signal information out there, and that was because of the tops. And now what we're watching are their breakout support levels. But again, these candles don't complete until 2 p.m. and so 11:30, it's very difficult to make the call based on that. So I hope that helps you out with regard to those. Oh, you wanted to take a look at natural gas as well. So to look at natural gas, let's do this here. Let's get back to. Now let's just do this here. Give me a moment. I'll open up one more screen. Trading, natural gas charts here. Okay, so it's going to take a couple of moments, probably 15, 20 seconds out there to populate. What else is it that you want to watch at day's end? So let's say the market performs very poorly out there. You want to watch the one-day rate of change. Right now, the spot volatility index is trading at 2365. We'll come back to natural gas out there. I'll just switch over to a set of charts there while natural gas populates. But change windows. Give me a moment here. We'll go take a look at the spot volatility index. So let's switch over to take a look at that. A moment here. So here we take a look at spot volatility index. You can see that the 50-day exponential moving average is 2359. If price closes over, and we're trading at 23.64. So let's assume that this was the close. You would not have a one-day rate of change greater than plus 10%. That does not suggest a bounce out there. And because you're above that 50-day expense moving average, would suggest that markets could or should continue lower come Sunday evening out there. If price is able to hold that 50-day, that means close below 23.59, well, then it's just a kind of a sideways consolidation-ish type pattern out there. But we can see that the ES Mini is holding a level of support, and that's at that 41.21 level. We're trading right now at 41.18 out here. So you'll want to watch that. Why? Because the one-day rates of change typically lead to a bounce or bottom out there. How do we know that? We know that because we track that. Here we had a one-day rate of change. I didn't put the blue arrow there. Let me just copy one. Give me a moment here. Move it over. Oops, didn't, well, okay, however you move it over. But there was that one-day rate of change that we had right here. And what did we get on that very next trading session out there? You got a nice little bounce that took off. It formed a bottom slash bounce, so to speak, out there. And you can see that was a couple of days out there. So you'll want to watch for those one-day rates of change above plus 10%. We're only at 8.59% right now, and it's an end-of-day thing. It is not a what's a trade at 11:36 in the morning. Okay, now we've got the natural gas charts populated. Let's go back for David and take a look at those. And here we're going to take a look at monthly, weekly set of time frames and the other intraday. So on a monthly basis out here, everything looks good. It would look really good if price can take out resistance. Now this is the continuous contract. I don't know if it's going to be exact, but $9.57. It's going to be the high of June. So if you trade natural gas, go back to the contract, see what the high of June was out there. And if that high gets closed above, well, then that would be very bullish for natural gas. That would also take out the top that we've got on the weekly time frame chart as well. So the daily's got a nice TD9 count top. That TD9 count top, which was confirmed, completed on August 23rd, all that has led to so far has been a test and rejection of that green oscillator and change line, David. Price is below the bottom or the top of its daily profile. It's at $9.44. So the signal is kind of neutral right now, but because it's below the top of that profile, it's a suspect neutral, but it still is held. You really want to see, if you're long natural gas, you really want to see price close above $9.44. If it closes below $9.34 out there, that's going to suggest that price could pull back to $8.83 or $8.22 or $7.70. Why? The first two are profile levels, and the third one was a TD9 count breakout area. As we look at the intraday charts out here, 30-minute chart, price pulls back, test support, its breakout level of $9.33. So that says watch that area, because if you see it close below that, David, that's going to suggest lower price out here. As I look at the other charts, is there anything of significance to share with you? And the answer is there really isn't. Perfect. Right in time. So David H., I hope that helps you out. Thanks so much for the request out there. Let's see if we've got anything else. We do not have any other. Oh, Hector is written in. Thank you, Hector, for doing that. We're going to go take a look at emerging markets, EEM, for Hector and Patty.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. So the question from Hector is this. Hey, Hector says, Steve-O, happy Frosty Foster's Friday. Well, that does sound good out there. EEM and the Hang Seng. Is it flashing big green buy me light signals as we speak out there? And thank you for your other kind wishes out there, Hector. So the first thing, and I know typically my focus is on technical patterns that are out there. And each of you know that to be the case. But what I'm going to first do out here is shift over to this screen. So just give me a moment. And really the question that I pose to you, Hector, and everybody else out there is, do you know? So we have Jackson Hole today. And Fed Powell said what? I mean, what was your take out there? Is your take that interest rates are going to rise in the U.S.? Yeah, probably the answer is yes. Is the U.S. dollar going to rise? Whether rates rise or not, is U.S. dollar index going to rise? The answer there is yes. Why? Because this is the safe haven. The U.S. dollar is a safe haven. With everything else going on across the globe out there, this is where price is going to. This is where money is going to continue to flow. Why is that important? Well, now let's go ahead and show the screen. And that is, the question I would ask is, do you know how much emerging debt is denominated in U.S. dollars across the globe? Why is that important? Well, let's just say borrowers outside of the United States is from the Bureau of International Settlements. This is the most recent report that is out there. Q1 of 2022, over $13 trillion is what they have. The largest amount is in Africa and the Middle East, Asia Pacific out there. You've got it in Europe. You've got Latin America. That one's going to be a stinger out there. And the reason is what we have to understand is as the U.S. dollar rises, in order to pay back, because these are folks that are basically in their local currency, for the most part, likely we'd have to take a look at how the U.S. dollar is trading against the Argentine peso out there. But generally speaking, the U.S. dollar index is headed higher. It's going to require more local currency. It's going to cost more in order to be able to just fund the interest payment, let alone the debt payment out there. So this is why we're going to see continued sovereign defaults. We've already seen 3 or 4 sovereign defaults out there. So this is the first thing. And so hey, maybe you trade EEM and so forth, and that's fine, but don't invest in it. Don't make it. I mean, make sure that it's a trade out there, because it's a real problem. You just got to do the research. Now let's go take a look at the charts here for emerging markets. We'll switch back over to the white background charts. Now I know Hector and Patty know that, but I don't want to then share something and then somehow others who may not know that information, now you do, all of a sudden take some kind of long position or long-term trade position in EM. Look, you're going to do what you want, but your question is this flashing a big green buy me right now? And so how do we answer that question? Well, the first thing that we look for is to see if we can find some kind of a top out here. And there is the A to B equals CD pattern. So let's take a look at this. Here's your A to B leg on the daily time frame. Let's move that over to the C area. We tried to move it over here. Come on, Stevie. There we go. And so there's your A to B equals CD. So that's completed. The question is there a bearish reversal candle? Well, that bearish reversal candle didn't come until we had a gap to the downside on August the 19th. The price is already above that gap out there. So what this would need is another bearish reversal candle. We don't have that right now. Price is pulled back today. It has tested its oscillator and change line. Now, if it closes below that level, by the way, is $40.13. If price were to close below $40.13, then price likely pulls back to $39.74 or the low from a couple of days ago in the $39.41 area. If price closes above $40.47, then this should continue to rally. That is emerging markets EEM. Now, rally to where? Well, what we can see on the weekly time frame chart is resistance is held. Resistance is the top of its profile. That was tested 3 weeks ago. So the level that EEM needs to really close above to suggest that there's some kind of A to B equals a larger A to B equals CD pattern, that would really come from your weekly time frame. We could redraw that on the daily as well, is a close above 41.16. Hector and Patty, on a monthly time frame chart, we do not have any kind of a bottom signal out here. Price right now is dealing with its TD9 count breakout level at 40.18. We're trading at 40.25. If price can close above that, even though it's not a bottom, that would be a small positive. So it's really 41.16 that you're going to look at. Again, I always offer caution out here with regard to emerging markets. Understand there's going to be sovereign debt defaults that are going. That's the danger. You know what Powell's doing? First of all, he's not curing inflation. Let's be realistic out here. This is not about people speculating on commodity prices rising out there. That's, you can raise the interest rates all you want. All you're going to do is kill the economy, kill demand out there. But that's all that he can do. But it would be nice if he just came out and leveled with us and said, hey, folks, raising interest rates is not going to decrease energy costs. It's going to increase energy costs. And raising rates is not going to decrease food. It's going to increase food costs out there. It would be nice if the guy, but the reality is it is what it is. So back to emerging markets out there. Just be very, very careful. Trade them, good, but please don't make them a big part of your longer term portfolio out there. Okay, Stevie's off the soapbox as we have just 2 minutes left out here, but I don't see any other questions. K-Web. So KWEB, it will take just a moment now. And also, emerging markets are trading well below last year's lows. Very bearish out there. So just be very, very careful with those emerging market ETFs out there. So let's see if we can get this to populate here. We're going to go take a look at this. Is the Chinese web ETF out there, KWEB. So let's get this populated. What can we say about it right now? So you're well above the top of the daily profile, even though this is giving something back. It's not at this stage here some kind of pattern that tells us that a top is in. A price. What does tell us to be cautious out here, McGuppy, is that price has made its way back to where a counter trend rally would fail. And that's at the center of its slightly bullish structured weekly profile, 31.49. So that says just be careful out there. But you're above the top of the daily profile. You're above its oscillator and change line. On a monthly time frame chart, nothing really else to help you with there. So you'd love to see it close above 31.39. That would suggest moving to 34.36 out there. The daily time frame's not giving us a real clear signal that now's the time to jettison your position. And when we take a look at the 30-minute time frame chart out here, price is pulling back into a support area. That's the bottom of its profile at 30.03. If you close below 30.03, then you're likely headed lower out there, with the target being 27.20 for K-Web. But we don't have that as the signal just yet. Those are the areas for you to be watching. So hope that helps you out, McGuppy. We also have a request that has come in here. It's called STEM, S-T-E-M. And this is for Greg, sent from his iPhone. And Greg says, morning, Steve. Would you look at STEM for me? I took profits recently and would like a good entry point on that. So we've got about 4 seconds. The music will start coming in. We'll go to the break. I don't know if this thing here will load or not, but we will certainly take a look at STEM as we come back to our last segment out there. Right now, STEM trading out, looks like at about 14.89, ran into resistance at its oscillator and change line. It does have a wave number 7 top out there. That's letter G. This could be forming an A to B equals CD to the downside. We'll take a look at that further when we get back from this break.
Vista Gold owns and operates the largest undeveloped gold project in Australia, the Mount Todd Gold Project. Vista Gold just completed their feasibility study, resulting in a 7 million ounce gold reserve. Vista Gold has all major permits approved and has retained CIBC capital market assistance in evaluating alternatives and in completing an accretive transaction. Vista Gold trades on the NYSE American and TSX under the ticker symbol VGZ. Vista Gold, executing a strategy to create shareholder value.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Everything in the universe is governed by the Fibonacci sequence. This mathematical principle is responsible for everything from the most aesthetically pleasing artwork to patterns in the stock market. To stay on top of stock patterns you can take advantage of, sign up for the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter at TFNN.com. When you subscribe, you'll get a weekly report from veteran day trader Larry Pesavento on stocks you need to pay attention to. And you can trust Larry's analysis. After all, he's got 45 years experience as a day trader. Larry will also provide daily charts, videos, and data on the key markets that he's tracking. Expect notifications from Larry on market movement you need to act on at any time. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. Subscribe to the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter today. TFNN.com, educating investors.
TFNN has launched The Tiger's Den, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. So we still have all the U.S. indices trading the downside. The Dow's off 500, S&P 75, NASDAQ 100, 314. That's about 2 4/10%. We're taking a look at ticker symbol STEM. This is for Greg, who says, morning, Steve. Would you look at STEM for me? I took profits recently and would like a good re-entry point out there. So a good re-entry point. There is a possibility, slight possibility at this stage here, that there could be an A to B equals CD to the downside. So let's look first at what that could look like after that wave number 7 top, letter G out there. So we draw in the A to B area out here. We would attach that to today's high, which could be the C point. I say could be. It's not going to be the C point if price closes above 1561. First, we'll say that, but it could be. And now that would, the 1-to-1 would get us down into the daily profile. So if this does get us into the daily profile, 1283 is the top. That could be an area for you to take a look at. But if it closes below 1283, then more likely than not, the buy area would be between 1104 and 1164. Now, I say that, but I say that cautiously. The reason I say that cautiously at the moment here, Greg, is because on a 30-minute time frame chart, this formed a nice TD9 count top. And that took price right back to support, which held. That's at 1471. The last 30-minute, the prior 30-minute TD9 count top, that formed out here at 10 o'clock in the morning. That was on August the 18th out there. And as price pulled back, it broke through its breakout levels to 1498. So that certainly would not have been a buy point. This could be a buy point out here, 1471. But the point that I wanted to make to you, Greg, is that if price closes below 1471, then the odds increase that we could see that A to B equals CD pattern to the downside on the daily time frame. So I just don't know if you're it sounds to me like you've been trading this. 1471 is certainly a adding area potentially in that 30-minute chart. And if price closes below that, you just close out that trade altogether. The weekly time frame chart is bullish, but it does have a sell the D point pattern. Last week, that bearish engulfing candle. So that suggests price can move back to 1192 out there. So I would just be patient. You had some nice profits out there. It doesn't look like it's going to run away from us. And I'd wait to see if you can get a buy in that 12 and a quarter, 1164 range out there. Well, folks, it's the end of the show. It's the end of the week here. I want you to have a fantastic Friday, an even better weekend. Be safe out there. And I'll look forward to seeing you on Monday, 11 o'clock sharp. Have a great one, folks. Take care.